In this episode, I showcase 2 days of diving with my buddy Martin off the coast of Sierra Leone, which is in West Africa. We get mixed diving conditions. Despite this, we're still able to land some incredible fish, but unfortunately, I lost my favorite spear gun of all time. I've shot hundreds of fish with this gun, and I've been able to land 2 world records, so it was an absolute heartbreaker to lose this gun. Good morning. We got the sun coming up over the Western Peninsula forest. I got my buddy Martin with me. We're gonna see if we can get in the water, yeah. See, the water's looking blue, so hopefully the visibility is good.
As we pulled up to the first spot, we didn't think we were going to be able to dive. There was a local boat that had a couple of smaller canoes nearby, and typically we don't like to dive right next to some of the local fishermen, not to disrupt their fishing, as well as to not have hooks and lines in the water. You can see as we pulled up, they pulled out, luckily, and you can see cut bait on the bottom here. You can see a line that their anchor dragged. The first drop, I missed the spot by a little bit, but the tons of life on this spot. You can see hundreds and hundreds of these spade fish all around. Lots and lots of life, and not much current. You can see lots and lots of life, but we were able to anchor up because there wasn't very much current. Because the current was really mild, we weren't really seeing some of our target species. You can see kind of a smaller African cubera right at the top of the screen there. But before we go, I decided to take a barracuda home with us. These barracuda have incredible power and usually take off like a shot out of a gun, and then they usually give up pretty quickly. Unlike some other fish that fight right to the end, like the jacks. Those barracuda are extremely underrated. I know many places in the world they don't eat them. We love them here, and in Sierra Leone they're probably one of the most sought after fish that people like to cook. They're very nice, very white, flaky fish, very, very good. Most Sierra Leoneans prefer them to almost any other fish. Another fish that I think is extremely underrated are these jack crevalle. We love to cook these on the smoker. You've got to really make sure you pull the bloodline. They've got a really dark, kind of very fishy bloodline. You got to make sure you get all that out. And then, man, we love to smoke these and turn them into fish dip. Absolutely delicious. So this new spot we moved to is a really awesome spot. We love diving here. It's a pinnacle that comes up to about 60 feet in the middle and drops off to about 150, 160 on the sides. And I'm diving about halfway up the side of this pinnacle in that 75, 80 foot range. I don't even get to the bottom. You can see these big benches of African cubera come in, and I'm able to get a shot on one.
Got a nice grouper. I spined him, I think. Woo, nice.
You can hear me tell Martin that I shot a grouper in that last clip. This is not a grouper, but here locally in Sierra Leone, they call this species of snapper a grouper. This is actually
an African brown snapper or an African cubera. But locally, there's 4 different species of snapper, and these larger varieties, locally they call them grouper.
Boy, for this spot, that's about as good as they come. Beautiful fish. All right. Good morning. Sun rising up over the water. Sierra Leone sunrise. Me and Martin off to some wrecks. Let's see if we can, hopefully the water's clear. It's always the gamble on these long runs. If the viz is bad, we'll have to turn around. See you in the water. All right, well, we just got in the water and it is not looking good. Probably only about a meter and a half of visibility. Long run, could be for nothing. We're gonna give it a little bit of time here to see if anything changes, but it's not looking good. We may have to run back to find some different spots. You can see how dirty this water is. The tip of that gun just disappears in this dark, murky water. But as I dive down, I punch through, and you can just watch the end of this gun kind of reappear. There you can see right around that 25, 30 feet underwater, you get to visibility opens up, and you can probably see here maybe between 10 and 12 feet, and it's clear enough to be able to hunt fish. I'm able to take advantage and line up a double on these Jack Crevalle.
Cleans up deeper. Huh? It's cleaner down the bottom. You got a double. They're not big, but didn't want to come home empty-handed, so.
It's gonna make a nice video.
Yeah, double. It's super dirty on top, but it cleans up.
One of the reasons we come out to this spot is that it's absolutely teeming with life. You can see 3 different species of jack here. There's horse-eyed jacks there, Jack Crevalle right there, and that's a longfin Jack Crevalle there. Thinking about taking one of these jacks, and luckily this guy swims in and I'm able to get a shaft in him.
Conditions are not ideal. I think we can get them. Let's try to anchor, I think. Yeah.
Conditions are not ideal, but man, we were still able to close the deal on this amazing fish. This is a great fish. This is probably in that 12 to 15 kilo range. What a beauty.
So it's like 50 to the bottom here. It's good structure, but you got to punch through, and it's gloomy, but you can see once you get to the bottom. But I was trying to get us on that 30 foot, so it'd be a little easier.
There's a mental aspect of diving in water this murky. It's really, really hard to tell your brain to keep going and diving into
zero visibility water. So we were looking for that shallower water in that 30-foot range. This is part of that wreck that sticks up a little higher, makes it a little bit easier to dive in this murk, and I'm able to pick barracuda here. I almost shoot this. This is a really interesting fish. It's called a black-barred hogfish. It's a really delicious fish, and it's I don't see them this big. This is probably close to world record size for this fish, and I almost, you can see I just about line up on him here, but I'm really holding out, hoping for those big African brown snapper to come in, and so I give him a pass. So we just decided to move spots, and one of the worst things that could possibly happen out here just happened. Normally when I come back to the boat, I'll take a break, leave my gun loaded like Martin's Rife is. We decided to switch spots, head back towards Freetown, and we didn't get 30 seconds from the spot, and I look back and my Basil D roller gun had somehow, in this position, bounced out of the boat. I'm crushed. I love that gun. It's my favorite gun, and it's gonna take me a while to be able to get one from him. So that's a heartbreaker. But what can you do? These things happen. It's not the first thing I've lost at sea. It's not the last. We decided that even though we lost that gun, the visibility was so poor that day, to try to dive and find it that day wasn't going to be an option. So we decided to wait, try to get back to this spot on a day where the visibility is better. We do hit one more spot. This is a spot, you can tell the difference of visibility here is way, way, way better. This is a spot on our way back to our home port, and it's shallower and really good visibility, but not that huge ball of life that we get to see on the wrecks. But still a pleasure to dive in this better visibility. You can see some of those kind of more juvenile African cubera here, and Martin's able to pick one up.
Yeah. What's up? Sure. Where's he at? Straight down?
Yeah, I just want to maybe keep tension on the line.
All right, yeah.
You want to go down?
I'll go down.
Okay.
He's like looped around a net,
Right.
but I brained him.
Okay.
So to make sure that he didn't come off, but we'll get him. We'll get him. I started on doing it, and then the shot's a little high.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to lose him, so here, I'll hold it for you. You can dive. It was tangled pretty good.
Yeah, the nets were old,
Yeah.
and so
Just pulled.
yeah, just pulled.
All right.
My feet hadn't been on soil for more than 5 minutes, and I called this man. This is Basil Daniel, and he is the craftsman that made the gun that I lost this day, and I was crushed. But he makes these beautiful pieces of art, functional art. They produce one of the most powerful shots, most accurate, smoothest loading with very little recoil. Not only that, they're absolutely gorgeous. And so I ordered a replacement this very day that I lost this gun. And he makes these to order, and they're absolutely amazing. And so I ordered 3 guns actually this day. These are the blanks for the guns that I ordered, and in an upcoming episode, I'll show the unboxing of the replacement guns that I got from Basil.